Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to League of Europe Season 8, and we are back on F1 22. We had some social races a few weeks ago, but now we have got some action to determine which drivers will be in which division for Season 8, and this is Lobby 3 for this evening. And we've got some drivers that I'm very familiar with, actually, but there's some drivers that I don't have a clue who they are, so it'll be interesting to see how well they do tonight. My name is Jesper, one of your commentators for tonight, and joining me alongside me is the very talented Alex. How you doing?
Hi, thank you, welcome. Very good, thank you. I'm looking so forward to finally seeing some action again, and I mean, it's my first time in a while as well for League of Europe, so I'm very excited. Hope this is going to be a good one overall. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got 18 drivers at the moment, 2 drivers missing, and the drivers will be racing around France today. The Circuit Paul Ricard, first used in normal Formula 1 back in 1971, but made its appearance back in 2018, and there was a triple header back then at the end of the day, which was quite difficult for some people. But then the pit lane was changed, quite a few things was changed, and it was mainly used as a testing facility. WEC was used there as well. So I will tell you a little bit more about the French Grand Prix a little bit later on, but we're going to talk about the drivers that we are having racing in this lobby. So like we said, a few familiar faces to Aloy, a few new faces as well, so if we get on the names wrong, we do apologise. So we've got J-Luke, Bunty, RJ, Funky Chicken, LFR Flex, DTR Brent, QBR Chill, IRT Rex, we got Nolan, we got Marty, we got Matt Tibos, we got Kelvin, we got EVG Damon, we got Cam, we got Emily Marcio, we got MCI Gis. I think that's how you say it. If I can't pronounce it, I do apologise. We got NXJ, which I believe is Noah J. We have EVG Donny. We have LFR Kalman, and we have Ryan B. But obviously, I think we have 2 drivers missing. So I'll need to double check which drivers are missing and being very naughty boys, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But we're in the lobby now, and F1 22's changed quite a lot compared to the last game as well. And one thing to mention as well tonight: clear weather, no damage, no safety car. It's all about seeing what the pace is for all the drivers tonight.
That's obviously going to be the most important thing for everyone. We've got a McLaren heading out as first driver. Actually, someone's ahead. Yeah, this is still looking very strange on the pit exit sometimes, but that's just what you expect with this new game.
Yes, exactly. So I think we got an Alfa Romeo in front of the McLaren as well, unless there's another McLaren right in front as well. I think the first driver that is out on a lap, well, it's going to go out on a lap, is IRT Rex. Now, IRT Rex I've commentated on before last season in Division 3. He did quite well to secure himself in the top 10. I think he got 1 or 2 wins. I remember him making a great strategy call at, I believe it was Hungary or Silverstone, I can't remember, it was one of the 2, but he is a driver, one of the most reliable drivers in Division 3 last season, pretty much attended almost all the races, and he's a driver that is obviously keen to improve. He's in the house tonight. Obviously the drivers have free choice of car, first come, first served, of course, and Rex got the house because he's an American. Obviously, I like Americans in this league, and it's great to see. So everyone's on the sort of tyres, and also tyre strategy is going to be interesting because everyone will have free choice of tyres. So hardly anyone, I think, will be going out on mediums tonight unless they want to get some sighter laps in.
Yeah, that's probably the most likely option, although I'm not quite sure if the tyre allocation actually lets you select mediums in qualifying, which I don't know why that is, but probably it's down to the free tyre choice in the race. I have to keep in mind as well, the tyre choices in general are very interesting on this game. Sometimes you just get the 1 set of mediums and 1 set of hards for the whole race, which, I mean, if it improves strategy, oh well, if it makes it more interesting, but I'm not so sure what to hold of this just yet. But we do have Rex starting the first lap of this set.
Yes, as he makes his way towards turn number 1, a prime overtaking opportunity in this race and gaining advantage. A lot of people gain advantage through there, so expect to see a few people invalidated. Now heading towards turn 4 and 5. Make sure your front right tire almost touches the yellow thing as they head towards turn 6 and 7. Don't forget these new cars have a lot of aero rules being changed as well, so the throttle and the track could be very different as well. A lot more people could be sent into a spin around here due to the fact that this track is very understeery for everybody. I did a bit of practice later for my race later on, and it is very tricky, but he gets towards turn 9 quite nicely as well. Didn't see if he was purple in any of the sectors at the moment, but he's going to be heading towards this back straight. People can be very brave going for moves, actually. I've seen people go side by side on the last game, and I'm expecting to this game because it provides more close wheel-to-wheel racing, just like the regulations in the real-life Formula 1 this year want to hope to have more of. But anyway, Rex heads past turn 12. Again, still understeery as normal. Then you're going to be passing the pit entry very, very soon as well. We're keeping an eye on that tonight. Heading towards the final corner. This is a very long straight. I usually tend to get very confused what the start-finish straight is, but it's a decent lap from him so far. 1 minute 30.853. First driver to set a lap time, and obviously he's P1, but expect lap times to be quicker.
As QVR chill, 31.1 goes second, but Kelvin, here he comes, 30.6, new fastest lap for the moment. A McLaren coming as well now. Looks like it's an invalidated lap. No, it's not. It's a 32.4.
Yes, that was Cam on the set of the soft tyres. And then we got Felipe, who's come across the line in P1. There's times going left, right and centre at the moment. This is great. Funky Chicken, who's coming across the line. He was in Division 2 last season, I believe. As he comes fastest, 1:30.2. So yeah, times are very close already between the top two. And I did see someone else come across the line. Who was that? That was Giant Bravery, actually, in 7th position. Bunty across the line in P6. He also raced in LOE Division 3 last season. Could have been more lucky at the first half of the season. If he showed his form like he did in the second half of the season for the first half of the season, he would have definitely challenged for the title. Matt Tibos, I believe, was in Division 2 last season. Correct me if I'm wrong, as he heads to... Oh, he's invalidated. Oh, that's not very good. J-Luke is invalidated as well. Quite a few more drivers are going into the pits. We've got LFR Flex about to start his lap. Now, for those of you that are wondering, as I just found out in the chat, thanks to him pointing it out, he's actually a FRL Parrot, who raced for the last half last season, and he just invalidated as I was talking about him. Typical. But Parrot did quite well towards the end. He joined pretty much late in as well because he was keen to join Halloween. He made a very good impression as well. Attended all the races that he was asked to take part in as well. He was in the Ferrari as well. In the Mercedes tonight, but he's not going to do well if he hasn't set a lap time yet, because so easy to invalidate around that section, but he'll get to go again later.
I've just seen that EVG Damon, who's coming around the Bose corner, I believe that's turn 12. Oh, very wide there, but before the flat-out right of Senior, there is this little rumble strip that everyone seems to go over that in the end just ends up making you slower. I don't know why, but it's just a thing on this game, so I'll be interested to see if someone maybe jumps on that and realizes it, because I don't know why, it just makes you a lot slower, and I personally don't know why that is, so let's see Damon now. He's on the final straight. What is he going to do? He's definitely not challenging for the fastest times. P8 for the moment, 31.3 for the Red Bull driver.
Yes, we got the likes of Chill, Bunty, Bravery, and Damon quite close together in quick succession as well, so they might be put in the same tier as well. But don't forget, there's one pre-season race next week around Mexico, so there's not just one this week, there's one next week as well, so they may be good at France, but they may not be as good around Mexico. So we've got Ryan B, who I think was a Division 4 champion, I think many seasons ago. He's making his return to F122, which is great to see as he heads towards turn number 7. Anyone else who's about to finish a lap? I think a lot of people are about to start their laps as well. And interestingly, not many people I don't think are going to be starting on the soft tyres, which is probably why everyone's on the soft now as well. What strategy would you expect the drivers to go on today? Maybe medium to hard, soft to hard maybe? What do you think?
I know that both are possible, but the medium hard is probably the safer option, or like any way you'd like to turn it. Obviously, medium hard, hard medium, but warming up those tires is going to be difficult. So I'm expecting more medium tires at the start, and then Possibly also a race of waiting and seeing what happens. Of course, well, having the safety cars taken out obviously helps because there's none of these factors involved. So I'm expecting a medium hard for most of the drivers, unless some want to risk the softs.
Yeah, I think that's what most people are going to go into. I think starting on the hards could be an option as well, because the last game, starting on the hards was definitely a no-go, but the hards are a much better race tire on this game, which is great to see. We've got Noah J on a lap at the moment in the Alfa Romeo as well. Had some very bad luck last season. DNF'd quite a lot, and he was at the bottom of the power rankings as well, so let's hope for him he has a much better season and a great pre-season race as Noah J goes up to the line, and it's a 131.2, puts him into P6 at the moment. We got Brent just going through sector 1 and towards turn 7. RJ is directly ahead of him, as quite a few people have having traction, as I think you just was on board with Brent, weren't you? Because Brent had just gone into a spin.
Exactly, that was just what I was watching, yeah.
Yeah.
Marty, though, on a pretty strong lap right now, in the middle sector. 50.0 is the timing that I've seen. Let's see his final sector then.
Yeah, final sector heading towards turn number 12. That was a little bit of a oversteer there as he head through that corner, but if he can nail this final sector, he could jump up just a little bit as well. So let's see, what can the Alpine do? Well, it is the Alpine's home track, so the Alpines are expected to do well here today. P4. Imagine what he would have done if he didn't mess up in turn 12. It could have been pole position, but I know Marty for quite a long time. He's usually good at qualifying, but he does, well, has some inconsistency in terms of the race. So let's hope he improves on the race in that front. RJ as well comes across the line, P6 in the Haas. Brent, who's probably going to go again. No, he's going to go into the pits. We've got Parrot, also known as Flex. He's invalidated. Cam's also invalidated as well. Anyone else you've been keeping an eye on, Alex?
Actually, I've just seen that Flex has been giving a massive tow to Bunty, so there's possible Team tactics going on here, despite this being just pre-season. There's a massive slipstream down the Mistral straight, so let's see if that brings Bunty anywhere forward.
Yeah, that
only
is
improved
good.
by about 300 though, so we'll see. He's currently in 10th, so there's still a lot of time to gain for him.
Yes, Bunty now. Oh, he's trying to use all that curb as well, but there is, I believe, some sausage curbs around here. Now, there was a debate. Felipe, P1 at the moment, 130.0, 2 chips clear of Funky Chicken, so we thought that no one could challenge him, but Felipe said if anything Funky Chicken can do, he could do better. But what can Bunty do? He's been in the front of the grid quite a few times, looking a decent lap for him. 130.8, P8, so he's got some time to improve if he wants to go into the front row. RJ, luckily he hasn't invalidated his run this time as, he's getting into the pits.
Yeah, I've seen this sector. He was about 2 seconds down, so possibly an in-lap before that, because he went to 6th a few moments earlier. I'm not sure when that was, but yeah, he probably on an in-lap, just generally slowing down, cooling down the tires, and getting ready to do the final run. So if Matt T-Boss is just about to start a lap. Yes, he is, in the other Alpine. Big slide there at the final corner. Has to take a lot of care on the traction. I found it particularly difficult on this track for some reason. Like, I haven't struggled on many tracks, but this was one of them. And particularly here, exit of turn 1. Despite being in 5th gear, I'm struggling a lot as I do no traction control on anything, so really difficult section to get right, but he looks to have got through quite cleanly. He's Funky Chicken, 29.7. That is 3/10 quicker than anyone else now. Very good lap from him.
First man into 129s then, so it's going to take quite some beating at the moment. 3/10 quicker than Felipe, so I wonder if the track's evolving a lot better. I wonder if it has more grip because more cars are on the track maybe, but let's just see who else is going to finish off their lap. Felipe goes into the pits. We got an Alpine, I think, about to finish a lap. It might be Matt Tibos, actually. No, it's not Matt Tibos. It's his teammate. No, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's one of the Williams. Okay, they've got similar colours. I believe it might be Kelvin about to start. Yeah, it is Kelvin about to start his flying lap. So,
Give me Damon about to finish now, heading into the second to last corner. Let's see. He was about 1.5 tenths up through the middle sector. Let's see his final corner. Looks very solid to me. So let's see what that time will be across the line.
Damon up to the line he goes. 130.7 and only P7 at the moment. So too many sevens there, Alex, at the moment. What could... did Matt Tibbles come across the line? Yes, he did. 130.9. I think only a few I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers in the 131s. Everyone else in the 130s or better. As Flex had a bit of a moment, or he was probably lagging on my screen. But apologies about that. But let's go on board with Kelvin, as I believe he's the only man on track, unless Rex on a lap. Yeah, Rex on a lap, but Kelvin I think is going, a bit further on to his lap at the moment as he starts set to 3 as well. And because you won't be using softs in the race as well, then they'll probably will be pushing on their soft tyres a little bit more compared to the race. And with no safety car, of course, they can't really rely on the softs in the race towards the end to save them. As like we said earlier, the division organisers want to know the driver's pace. They don't really want drivers to retire from the pits because, really, why would you race if you retire in the pits if you have a rubbish race? So Calvin up to the line, he improves 130.5, and someone else has just gone quicker than him. That is Ryan B.
Ryan B. Yeah, fourth fastest. Strong time from him, 30.4.
Yes, Ryan beating the Alfa Romeo tonight as well, and I think we're going to see a lot of competition at the moment. We've got Bunty and Flex, the only drivers not to set a lap, but let's hope for Brent's sake he can set a lap as well, or maybe he'll do a last 2 challenge. You never know, maybe he could do a hard to medium strategy, but again, we will have to wait and see how his session progresses from his end. So he's going to get the DRS wide open as well, which the touch point is right now. He activated it quite nicely. So let's see what Brent can do. Up to the line. 130.5. Oh my god. I think from P2 all the way down to P13, it's just so close. No one could beat Funky Chicken Sam at the moment. But I'm going to keep an eye on Felipe, actually, as he's on his run to see if he can improve. He's going out extremely early, though. So do you think he'll probably go out for more than one run?
I mean, well, with 2.5 minutes to go, it's looking fairly close for him, so maybe it was about this strategic thing to do your in-lap yourself for tyre wear, but obviously that's not a thing with the free tyre choice anymore. I'm not quite sure what that's all about now, that going out so early, but let's see. Maybe he can pull one out of the bag, you never know. Let's have a look at his middle sector. And he's improving. It's currently a 10th, but let's see if he can find more. Last sector.
So, we will see if he has some more time in the bag as well. And we'll see. We didn't even see his sector 1 time. So, but he is absolutely committing himself in the final sector as well. If I take that corner, I absolutely understand it takes longer for me to reach that corner. But Felipe has a little bit more commitment than me in the Ferrari. Obviously, the Ferrari doing very well in the season in real life. But Red Bull doing extremely better. And the Ferraris are a bit worried about the real-life French Grand Prix next week. 129.8, 1 tenth shy of Funky Chicken, the second man into the 129s. RJ's on his run as well. And then we got, I think that's it at the moment, most people on their out laps as well. Marcio is on his run as well in P3. So Marcio doing a good job. I think he's new to the league, or he might be under a different game tag this season. I don't know, but I think he's backed off. Is he backed off?
He has supported this lap, possibly.
Yeah, he's backed off. Okay.
He's 4 tenths off in sector 1.
So he's not going to improve, unfortunately, unless he wants to go again. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 drivers on their outlaps. Brent in the pits. Oh, you don't want to be leaving it that late, or you might just be happy with that lap. You think he can't go quicker, but that is it. He's not going to have time.
Now.
He's not going to have time. 49 seconds left.
By 3 tenths.
Yeah, Marcio. Wow. So P3 at the moment. Ryan B, he's not going to improve, unfortunately. Let's just see a couple more drivers coming across the line, as I just saw Ferrari go. I don't think Felipe is going to go on another lap unless he could cross the line with a few seconds to spare. But Cam starting his lap at the moment. Then we have got, I believe, it won't let me select a driver. Come on, as Ryan B has retired. Why won't it let me select a driver? Okay, RJ comes across the line. P3 for him. We got, I think it was a Williams. Came across the line. Calvin's about to start his outlap. Here we go, Mercedes in front. That's Bunty. Felipe P2. Marty can't improve P3. 130.0. So close to the 129s. Just couldn't do it. I think Bunty has aborted his run. Rex. Oh, yeah, no, I think it's someone in front of Rex. I'm trying to see who it is.
Funky chicken, isn't it?
Yeah, this Funky Chicken, our pole sitter at the moment. And I think the only people that could beat Funky Chicken's time are Damon, Rex, J-Luke potentially, but we'll see. Funky Chicken up to the line, he doesn't improve, but it may not match to him in the long run. J-Luke's 5 tenths down on his previous best, so I don't think he's going to improve. Matt Tibos. Well, he's pushing on his run, but we'll see what he could do. I think it's Cam up for a lap next, actually. So I'm on board with him. He was about 5 tenths up in the middle sector. He goes P10, and to be honest, not aiming for 11th is a thing of the past now, because obviously they got the free tyre choice. Matt Tibos comes across the line P12. Bunty, I think, has backed off. Yes, he has. J-Luke. Let's see if he can improve. We're watching on Chill as well, who's directly behind J-Luke. So we'll see what Chill could do. But J-Luke up to the line, he does not improve. Chill goes 3 tenths up. Chill goes into P5. That is great to see. Marcio getting one more run, I believe. No, he's not improving, but he's going to come across the line anyway because he realises it's quicker. So it is Funky Chicken in the Red Bull. That is on pole for today's, first evaluation race of this evening. Don't forget, Lobby 1 and Lobby 4 are also happening at the same time. But Funky Chicken gets the honours for pole position.
And I mean, what a lap it is. A 10th clear, obviously only of Felipe, but these two really have been in the world of their own. Nobody else in the 129, so very strong laps from them. Very good effort. Martin P3, very nice. Does put himself pretty much where he's supposed to, although he's a little bit in no man's land, don't you think? 2 tenths off anybody, really. Looking quite lonely there in P3, but you never know in the race. Maybe in with the tire wear coming in, or the weight of the car coming down, it could be an option to go to the soft later on if you start on the hard. So you never know. That could be a strategic option.
That is the alternate strategy, soft to hard or hard to soft, but the main strategy will be medium to hards. But those were your qualifying results then, but that a lot to digest from today's qualifying session as well. Quite a few people seem to be on pace straight away. Quite a few people were lagging behind, but again, it's most people's first 50% race on this game, so a lot to get used to with obviously the new handling as well. But whilst we wait for people to ready up in the lobby, as I'm getting a black screen at the moment, no, it's all good, we will go through the calendar for this season, which is quite an interesting calendar. I like this calendar, by the way, apart from certain tracks, which I am not going to comment on stream because I know a few people will hate me. But we've got Bahrain to kick off the season on the 30th of July. Absolutely love that track. Then we got Imola on the 6th of August. We got the United States Grand Prix, Austin, Texas on the 30th of August. Then we got Miami, one of the new tracks, on the 20th. I'm very much looking forward to racing that when that comes through. I'm glad that's earlier on in the season. We got Monza on the 27th of August, Singapore on the 3rd of September, Silverstone on the 10th, France on the 17th of September, Australia on the 24th of September, which is a new track layout, which I did prefer, by the way, on this game. Hungary on the 1st of October, Baku on the 8th of October, Belgium on the 15th, Austria on the 22nd, Spain on the 5th of November, Saudi Arabia on the 12th, Brazil on the 19th, and to round it off just like last season, Abu Dhabi will be the final race, again with the new layout, which again is very, very nice as well. So a very good calendar for this season, and just a few things to point out as well. France, Texas and Abu Dhabi will be sprint races, one-shot qualifying for each of them, 50% sprint and points for the top 10 in the sprint. from 10 points for first place all the way down to 1 point for 10th place. And then it follows with 50% Grand Prix, and then it's normal points from first all the way down into 12th position. So lots to look forward to for this season.
Certainly looks like a great calendar indeed, especially for racing as well. With all these new cars, it's going to be an amazing season for sure. Really looking forward to see how that all unfolds. You always love it when a new season comes around, don't you? It's amazing.
Yeah, it's always you get the hype. I think pretty much. I think I only know a few that have started, but those are all esports drivers. I don't think I've seen many leagues for people like us that have started yet, and obviously we're going to be starting on the 30th. I mean, most leagues I think starting around about then. Just people are getting used to the game. So we've got most people on the mediums, apart from 3 drivers: Felipe, QVR Chill, and Kelvin as well. So they've got 2 options. They can either start on the hards and go on to medium tyres, or start on the hards and go on to soft. But that is interesting. Not what I would have done straight away if I wanted to gain positions, but Kelvin has a good chance later on in the race. But it's heading towards the start of qualifying, and Alex, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you, and it's going to be very, very interesting off the line for sure, because none of this... none of those bends on the start-finish straight, like we have in Imola, for example. Obviously, grid slot parking as well. Let's see how well they get that one down. Looks like a fairly solid parking spot here for the top 2, but everybody is now coming up to the line, as Bunty is the first one to seemingly have not managed that properly. Yep, he will start quite a way down, as is Damon there in 13th. But looks like that could be it for all of those. And 27 racing laps are going to get underway very shortly, with Funky Chicken and Felipe sharing the front row. And the 5 red lights are now coming on for the French Grand Prix. It is lights out, and away we go. Let's see how they will be starting this race. Funky Chicken immediately up to 3rd gear, but here comes Marty with a brilliant start. Can't overtake Funky Chicken just yet, but actually Felipe does stay ahead in the end in the Ferrari. 2 houses side by side for P4 and 5. But it's looking all clean at the start right now. Nothing really going on too much at the back. There is a yellow flag now. Matt Tibos has been around. So there has been contact, but Felipe is around as well. There's a lot of contact here. Yep, Marty is around as well, and Funky Chicken retakes the lead of this race. The 2 houses in P2 and 3, Rex and Exo RJ. Marcio is now 4th in the McLaren. Bunty up to P5, so some very big gains here made at the start. Let's have a look at the position gain right now. Yep, it's 5 places up for Rex. 5 places as well for Bunty and Brent in P5 and 6. So it's a lot of great starts going on right now. But Funky Chicken, out of all this, keeps the lead of this race of 27 laps of France. It's fairly clean to start, but the first sector, you would expect some chaos at the start. And especially now with the tyre wear getting more. As Funky Chicken leaves the session, this is probably a disconnect then.
That must have been a disconnect.
Leader.
Yeah, as Rex is going to get past him. Yeah, Rex is going to get past him. What a shame. Hopefully he has a spare invite to come back into the session, because I know I think I've got about 2 or 3 spare invites to join the session, so hopefully he's got a few as well. So it is Rex at leads, RJ 2nd, Marcio will jump to 3rd position. Don't forget, damage is off as a quick reminder as well, so the drivers obviously will be basing it on their pace as well. And we already got our first time penalty of giant bravery. I believe that was 3 seconds. Let me have a look. No, it's 5 seconds, so you must have hit someone. As Ryan B's joined quite as well, so he disconnected. So it looks like people can rejoin if needed. So please, Funky Chicken, if you could join, because it will be a shame, obviously, to lose Funky Chicken at the moment in this race. Yeah, another yellow flag.
Matt Tibos is around.
Matt Tibos is out. Well, not out, but spun again. I think he just lost it on traction, which is very hard in this game. J-Luke and Giant Bravey going side by side and towards turn 7. J-Luke getting a bit squirmy there. He's gone off the track. You may get a warning or even a time penalty as well, but he's down in P16. Not he would have wanted. Marty's gone past him as well. Again, like we said, luckily no damage. Brent has got past Funky Chicken. Flex and Char going a side-by-side battle. You could go more side-by-side here in F1 22. So expect to see more brave moves. I thought no one's going to make a move through turn 9 and 10, but it looks like Flex saying, oh, I could do that. Oh, it's a bit of a tap from QBR. Chill there. That was a bit close as well. That was almost sent into a spin as well, right on the gearbox as well. You don't lose that much downforce on these new generation of cars, luckily as well. As
he's got Kelvin right behind, spins him around. That puts an end to that battle. That's so unfortunate. Felipe now coming back behind him as well. Obviously starting second at that. Through the second to last corner. Don't see moves very often there. As Ryan B leaving the session again. So another disconnect for him. Second one already in this race. As a Haas 1-2. Who would have seen that one coming? Rex and RJ leading the way in this French Grand Prix right now.
I kind of wish we see that in real life, but last week in the Austrian Grand Prix, the Haas drivers did quite well, actually. Double points for both of them. And the second race in a row where Mick Schumacher got points, but some pretty decent points, actually, for him. He's had a good form of late in the last 2 races. I do hope he has a good race in France next week. But I think he's starting to get used to the F1 cars. I think he took a while to get used to, obviously. But we're seeing more battles. Cam, here he comes through turn 8. He's got a bit of slipstream as well. He stays to the left-hand side with EBG Damon then heading towards a DRS zone or a bit of a love tap. Be careful. Damon holds it. Good defending from him. Giant Bravery's got past Funky. Oh my God. Noah J up to P7. What a move.
It's a brilliant move, very opportunistic. Just picks off his opportunity when he can. And now into Bose. Is there anything yet to happen? I don't think he can quite overtake in here. But wow, he stays so close to the gearbox of that Red Bull. Let's have a look into the next corner. I believe that'll stay put for the moment. But all the top 10, look at these gains in the top 10. It's crazy how many of the top flight have pretty much had some sort of mistake or a disconnect. Wow, it's just the whole top 10 is just shuffled around. Looks so, it's great, to be honest, for the race that's going on right now. The 2 Haases, let's see if there's anything going on now. I believe RJ will hold station behind Rex for the moment. They both distanced Marcio already, actually, so it's a pretty comfortable lead for the 2 boys up there. Let's have a look how that will develop throughout this race.
Yes, I wondered those 2 will be working together, or will they be left to their own devices? Marty has spun, I think, on turn 2 and 3, probably turn 4 as well, so he's dropped down to 17th position, so I think that's both of the Alpines. It's both the Alpines not having the best days at the moment, but here comes RJ.
RJ's going for it.
RJ's going for the race lead as he goes towards turn number 8. Can he keep to the left-hand side line? He clips that left apex. To the right he goes. Giant Brady has a time penalty, but looks like RJ can hold his line at the moment. But Rex, what could he do? He's using his ERS.
What's going on down there?
Lots going on in the background as Flex is also going for a move. So Flex up to P8.
Ooh, to the inside of Senior. Risky move, but he gets it done. Very nice one from the Ferrari driver. Anything could happen in Bose this time? I don't think so. Actually, Flex does go for the move. Oh, gets cut off by the Ferrari. Wasn't really alongside after all, was he?
No. So. Didn't look like it, unfortunately. But what can you do? Anything can happen.
Another yellow down there. It's Williams. Jay looks. I'm not sure. I believe it was Matt Tibos, but look, he's so far back again. This is just a very, very unlucky race as of now. The 2 Haases stay put for the moment. Kelvin going for it against Flex, and he is passed into P9.
There we go. Kelvin having a good race so far. Obviously, we'll be keeping an eye on other people's pace as well in relation to everybody else, but pretty much the top 5 are pretty much similar in terms of pace, and we got Noah J running his own race, but he's in a train with Damon. It's Rex! It's Rex!
It's that Haas! It's Rex! Yes, Rex is around. Oh, that puts an end to that Haas 1-2.
Oh no, Rex was leading, I believe, the race at one point at the start of the race, but now it's up to RJ to raid the flag for the Haas team. That would have been damage if damage was on, so he was very lucky. We got Marty's got past Funky Chicken as well. I would invite these people, but I don't have them as a friend on PSM. But obviously, once the season starts, I can add all these people, so I can come prepared. But obviously, it's pre-season, and we'll have to wait and see. But look at Marcio's pace on those medium tyres. Then as we head towards turn number 12. He's looking very good. He's gained about quite a lot of seconds on Brent. I wonder if Brent's struggling a little bit. Bunty as well is in that train. So, and I think Brent was about 1 second behind RJ, but now he's like 2.9. So I think Brent is struggling on traction, or he might have spun a little bit or had a bit of oversteer once we did notice. There's Rex and, well, Rex is Rex back in the session? I think he is. I don't know. I'll need to check. Yeah, Rex is back in the. No, he was back in the. He was in the session to begin with. I just got confused with Funky Chicken and Ryan B. Sorry about that. But anyway, Rex stays in 9th position, and he's got quite a bit to recover as well. But we'll keep an eye on Marcio as he heads towards turn 7.
I will say though, RJ's getting away very well right now. Maybe not the strongest traction there for Marcio, as he dropped about 2/10 or so in the traction zone. So probably no move happening into the chicane between the two Mistral straights. But maybe there can be something happening with the slipstream down into Senior and Bose. You never know. There's always actually a fairly fancy place in this game for people to overtake, but maybe this time around he is just that little bit too far back. Also not using the ERS, as you can see on the wheel, on the telemetry, so not going for a move just yet. Damon, though, alongside Noah J. There could be a move going on here. Still side by side into the Bose corner. Let's see if there's a little switchback going on for the Red Bull driver. Can't quite make that one work, but Giant Bravery is also coming up behind these two. Oh, he's to the inside. Not sure if that's the best idea. He just backs out of it, but Damon is around in very dramatic fashion. That's a lot of places lost. Flex and Felipe still fighting here as well, but let's see if they can make that one work. Not quite. No overtake opportunity here, but Damon with the very dramatic spin, I have to say. That's just ruined that fight as well. It's just so difficult. It's obviously the start of the game for everybody, but it's so difficult to get the power down in these cars.
Exactly. I think I felt sorry for the Red Bull there as well. Damon, I think, was having a good race, and both Red Bulls, unfortunately, are in the mud right now. So we haven't talked much about this, but we will need to mention quite a bit about strategy on this game for the French Grand Prix. Expect the guys on the mediums to be around about lap 11 for the hard compound tyres to last for 16 laps. And that'll be the one stop. The ones on the hards. Bravery's going to go for move potentially as I jump on them quickly side by side there. You can't really. That was a brilliant move. You can't do that on F1 2021.
No chance.
No chance, but Giant Bravery was being very, very brave there.
Indeed,
with the pun.
very true to his name. Let's see Noah J. Will he come back around Senior and into Bose? Stays back for now. Maybe he will try the switchback. Exactly, that's one of the areas you can overtake on this game. Oof. Can't quite make it work. Very close racing though. Giant Bravery stays defensive, so let's see if Noah J can go for the switchback here as well to make a move into the second last corner of this track. Not one you see very often, but I don't think he quite has the pace to get that move. However, that's pretty wide for Giant Bravery. They're still side by side now in the final sector. It's looking so close. Kyria Kelvin's joining in on this as well. He's now alongside the Alfa Romeo. First pit stop for Flex, by the way, right now. But let's see these two. Could that be a 3-wide situation into turn 1? Contact Kelvin. 3 wide into turn 1, and Kelvin moves through. P5. However, still nothing over here as Giant Bravery gets the switchback out of turn 2. What is this racing then? Into 4. Can he make this one work? He's to the inside, but Kelvin is... Yeah, Kelvin's backed out now. Now Noah J is getting back into it. My goodness, what a fight this is. And this is going to continue all the way down this straight. I guarantee this, as we've got Rex already coming up behind these. So that's just such a brilliant battle we've witnessed. Now let's see. A bit of slipstream games going on. But can Kelvin make this work? It's a yellow flag behind. But Kelvin is coming. Oof, not quite enough. But maybe down into Senior again. These medium tires should be going off a little bit by now, but Noah J doesn't show any signs of that as he's still very close to the back of that Williams. Anything gonna happen again into Senior? Not quite for the moment. Kelvin is closer to the Ferrari again. Can he make a move? Obviously Giant Bravery low on ERS. That light is flashing at the back of that Ferrari. But no moves happening in this final sector. It's very difficult to make moves here, but it's still very viable on this game and in any F1 game generally. to make moves in this place. The front still looks pretty settled. I mean, RJ with a 4.5 second gap over the Aston Martin of Brent. So, very, very in control in the race lead there. Felipe with a time penalty. Gets past Rex though. Ooh, this is, yeah, the scrap is still going on pretty much. A lap later. Will there be any moves heading into turn 1? Not for the moment. Everything stays put. But another DRS zone coming up in that middle sector. So nothing is settled just yet in this fight for P5.
So it's a 5 pretty much car train for P5 on track as well. Giant bravery getting a move done on Kelvin. Kelvin getting a free wide move done as well into turn 1, which was very brave to say the least, and on the hard side as well, which just showed that the crossover point could be early and unexpected. But we got Felipe on the back of Noah J, and is he going to try and get past? Not quite. Kelvin on the back of Giant Bravery once again, but Giant Bravery just does have a time penalty, so he does have the buffer a little bit, but Kelvin is expecting the hard tyres to last for just a little bit longer. He can go very flexibly, either go on. Felipe's going to go for the move into turn 10, leaving much space.
This is going to be a close one. Into Bose, to the inside. Maybe he's got the move done this time. Pushes him slightly off. I don't think he was actually completely off the track, but Felipe gets that one done and up into 7th. Very nice move there. Kelvin, I believe, is just looking for a good exit there. I thought maybe Felipe was going to go for a move there as well, but I think it was just Kelvin looking for the exit to maybe get past Giant Bravery, because you can see he is struggling. Oh, and that is just so unfortunate. Giant Bravery around because of contact with Kelvin, who now has to face the attacks of Felipe. Let's see if he can make a move into turn 1. I don't think, he's a bit too far back. Maybe doesn't want to make a move just yet.
Put the pass there. Put the pass there, which is not allowed in Formula 1. But that would have almost certainly been damage if it was a normal LOE race.
Oh, of course, yeah. Especially with the damage one on this game, because I figured, particularly on standard, it's actually really easy to get damaged now. However, with the ground effect cars, it doesn't actually make too much of a difference in performance, so possibly even when you have damage, your race might not even be completely done for just yet. You never know in this game, as here comes Felipe. It looks like he'll get this move done fairly easily. Oh, but Kelvin is now boxed in. Noah J gets past him as well, so there's 2 positions lost on this one straight. Rex is also coming up behind Williams now, so let's see if there's any more. Is Kelvin going slow on the exit? Losing another position, so from P5 to P8 on just one straight. Oh, this is a bit unfortunate for him in this little sequence of track. So let's see, Felipe back into 5th, starting on the front row. There's another spin at the back. It's the Alpines. A lot of the spins come from the Alpines for some reason. Another one there. Is that Marty around? Yeah, it is. Marty having a very, very tough day in the office right now.
Yeah, he is. I did say he's good at qualifying, but he's just not that consistent in a race. And unfortunately, that's the commentator's curse coming back to bite. So, Rex is in the pits. Now, one thing to mention on this game, it's immersive pit stops. And they've got a button to use to turn in. They've got to turn in, I think, 0.7 for optimal. Can't remember what button time you need to press if it's good, but optimal 0.7. So we'll see what his pit stop is. Looked like a pretty decent stop for me. I think it might have been good or optimal. It definitely wasn't late, because otherwise it would have lasted for quite. I think you lose a bit more. I think 5 or 6 tenths per second if you. It's Jay who's gone for a little bit of a spin into turn 2. That's not what you want. So he's down into 14th, but a lot of drivers have got to get used to immersive pit stops for the first time, and for me, I had to figure out what button it was, because it didn't tell me on the PC what button it was. I think it was just like button 3 or something. I was like, what the hell is button 3? But luckily on PlayStation, it tells you.
I had the same problem. It tells you on PlayStation. I think it's X on PlayStation. But, it is X, yeah.
Which is good. But so for drivers who are still racing in Lobby 2 and Lobby 5 later, X for the pit. Just saying, that's my advice, as we had another spin, and I believe that was J-Lig and Marty again, which is a bit of a shame. But will we see more people going into the pits? Yes, we do. Brent and Marcio. Oh, that was a bit of a tap. Marty, 5-second time ban. Or was it 3 seconds? I'm not entirely sure. But Brent and Marcio go in. Noah J's in. Felipe obviously staying out because he's on the hards. Is Cam going in? Nope, he's not. Cam's staying out on those mediums.
Okay.
Same with Bunty and same with our race leader, but obviously RJ's got that buffer against everybody else, so he should be fine. Another spinner. Well, J-Luke in 18th.
J-Luke, yeah.
Oh.
It's just a tough day in the office at this point. There's not much he can do anyway, because the tires will be very warm now. He has to take a lot of care, and sometimes it just slips out of your mind, especially when you've had a moment like this. Yeah, there he's round again, so easy to lose your focus when something like that happens. Well, yeah, I mean, bless him. It's the preseason. He's still got a chance next week in Mexico. He goes around again. Yeah. Just have to be a little bit more calm with these situations at the moment, but yeah, it's pre-season, so for now it's still not that much of a difference. Obviously, you got to get it right.
Oh, J-Luke, you don't want to retire in the pit lane. I think the drivers have been told to not retire in the pits because they can't see the pace. I'm guessing he may have to redo his evaluation race at another time. Yeah, because you're not allowed to retire like that. We can't see your pace. We have been told by the stewards, even if you're RJ's in as well, even if you're like 30 seconds slower than everybody else, you still technically need to still race so they can still see your pace, because that would help you decide whether you're going to be in Division 3, Division 2 for example, or even the top division, Division 1, or maybe even in the lower division. So you've got to stay out even if you're having a rubbish race. As Matt Tibos, 5-second penalty, he's in. RJ then, he's going to come out. Didn't see many of the pit stops actually, because I was talking about J-Luke there, but RJ is going to come out comfortably in front. He had the gap anyway, but where is Bunty in relation to Marcio? Wow.
Right now, he is well ahead. However, you have to figure in the tire warm-up, because that is obviously a thing now. He's gonna get those. He's gonna have to get the tires well up to temperature. He's already, he goes up some zigzag lines here to get those tires up to temperature, or else he's gonna get swallowed up on this straight. I think it's gonna happen anyway, to be honest.
Ooh,
let's see.
Kelvin, way to move on, Felipe. Kelvin's now your race leader on track, even though they haven't made a stop. So they're gonna be pushing their tires to the limit. It won't be that long before they come in.
Is coming. Got Marcio, I think he's going to follow him through as
Oh
well. Yep, that's 2 places lost for Bunty immediately.
Yes, Bunty is just tyre warm-up, isn't it? Tyre warm-up. Brent and Marcio have been on those tyres for a lap now, so they've been warming their tyres. So, and you can see Bunty was just weaving to warm your tyres. If it's not like F1 2021 where the tyres could be going up to temperature quickly, you've got to warm your tyres. You've got to have some clear air to warm them. Otherwise, you're going to lose so much time. So maybe pitting later is not the best idea, because you're going to come out in so much traffic. Funky Chicken's AI is obviously staying out. So I think everyone that was on the mediums has pitted onto the hards. So everyone is in. So RJ's your net race leader, then it's Brent, then it's Marcio, then it's Bunty, then it's Rex, then it's Noah J, Flex, who pitted quite a bit actually. Is he going to get those hards to the end? That remains to be seen. Damon,
actually,
Damon in the next position, then it's Cam, Giant Bravey, Matt Tibos, Ryan B, who's disconnected. He'll have to do his evaluation race again, and then Marty in 17th, who's still not giving up. Bless him at the moment. Calvin trying to make sure Felipe does not get any slipstream or tow at all through turn 8.
I mean, that's a tactic, to be honest. Let's see down this second part of the straight. Obviously, no DRS here because of the fast corner that follows it, but yeah, he's probably too far back to make a move right now, and maybe he doesn't even want to. Maybe he's not interested. Maybe looking to go for that undercut, possibly, because you have to factor in all this tire warm-up, because in the end, we'll all have to figure out what's the better strategy to pull yourself out of traffic, but then have some slow outlaps. However, then maybe poaching on the other people's outlaps and getting them straight back. So it's all a very, very difficult situation for the drivers. Let's see if any one of them will head into the pit. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, the hards are probably still good, yeah.
Hards, I think, yeah, hards like we saying. had a database somewhere which told me how long the HUDs could last, but I can't seem to find it. So I'll have a look. I noted down the strategy, but I was an idiot and forgot to note down how long the tyres lasted. So silly Jess. At least I'll remember it for the Mexican Grand Prix next week. 20 laps the HUDs could last. So
20 laps.
20 laps, but the optimal strategy is staying on the hard for 16 laps and then going on to mediums for 11 laps, because obviously the mediums only last 15. But yeah, if they can, if Kelvin and Felipe can stretch those tyres for 20 laps, that's probably why the alternate strategy is there to go onto the softs, but obviously your hards will be almost dead. That's why the alternate, obviously it's the less quicker strategy than hards to medium. So we'll see what we could do. Maria's picked up a prime penalty as well. Track limit warnings. Quite popular around this track, and in real life it seems around Austria.
Yeah.
That was it was like we were in the F1 22 game, but we weren't. We were in real life. But yeah, I think last season and in F1 2021 it wasn't really a thing to pick up penalties around France. I think not many people picked it up. I think it took it in turns whether if the game picks up penalties. I know in F1 2020 track limits was really harsh. Seems to be on this game as well in France. So I think, obviously, Felipe, you don't really want to be cutting that. But you got a 5-second time penalty. So the game didn't punish you on last game that you do that, but it did punish you on this year's game. So thank you.
He's going to have to serve that immediately as well. So there goes his shot probably at getting Kelvin back on the warm-up and general on strategy.
You couldn't do that on the last game. On the last game, you had to wait. Yeah, you had to wait until your next pit or the end of the race. So that's another good thing that Cody's implemented. Good job. But Felipe now is on the mediums. Where is he going to end up in relation to everybody else? He's going to drop way down. But in a normal LOE situation, top 12 will score points. But obviously, since it's a pre-season evaluation races, no points will be on offer tonight. Just prize.
Yellow flag.
No, J's off. Oh, that was close.
Such a good race.
Yeah, probably one of the best races I've ever seen him race in a while, actually, is Cam. Cam and Damon have been fighting for quite a lot in this race. So let's see if they could do it again as Damon to the right. As Cam, it was almost a bit squirmy once again, going through turn 7. Marty setting the fastest lap of this race so far. It's not going to count anything because he's outside the top 10. Damon then, let's see what he could do. He's hardly got any ERS. Cam doesn't have hardly any ERS as well. They're both harvesting energy towards turn number 8. Well, Damon backs off there. Cam closing the door up to 10th place. Oh, Damon, that was a lot of oversteer there into towards near turn 9. That was close.
A good save from him then. I thought he was maybe looking to get the better traction, immediately shifting up to 4th gear in the middle of that chicane. That's a thing you'll see a lot actually on this game, that people just use so much 4th gear. I'm doing it myself, to be honest, to get the traction because it's so slippery. We've now got Chill in the pit lane and Kelvin as well. So the normal order in this race seems to have been restored, with RJ taking a clear lead. Really commanding actually in front of Brent. Let's see the gap to the second place man. It's 7.5 seconds. So RJ is running away with this one. Impressive performance from him.
I think he likes France. I'm trying to remember how well he did in France last season, because I know he did race in France for season 7. I'm trying to remember my seasons, but or he might have been the one that did awful around Spa. Let me have a look. Championship standings. Division 3, I'm trying to keep an eye on battles. Marcio and Rex. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was Marcio, because he was on the back of Bunty. Flex has had a bit of a moment, so I wanted those two make contact. Felipe, here he comes.
This is going to be a difficult one. 3 wide through here on the Mistral straight, but seems to all have gone well. The two medium runners, Chill and Felipe, still side by side. Big corner cut for Felipe, keeps the position. Maybe we'll need some looking at, but Felipe up to 7th. This 3 wide down the straight. You always love to see it, as long as it's not in the braking zone.
Yes, you don't want to be ending up on the inside and sending to a spin, because I had that a few times on the last game at least. 8 seconds now is the gap between RJ and Brent. So RJ finished 4th in the championship, and in France last season he only got 8 points in France. So maybe he didn't like France on last year's game, but he likes it on this year's game. Interesting. Maybe it suits more. It maybe suits more of his driving style potentially. Maybe he's a bit more confident. But obviously we got Mexico next week and the season to come. Another yellow flag. That's one of the Alpines again. That is Matt Tibos.
Felipe with the fastest lap.
Felipe.
Despite making an overtake.
Oh, he almost got onto the back of Flex there to get the move. Fastest final sector as well. Marty with that penalty as well. But the mediums could only last about 15 laps. Been on two of them, so it can comfortably last until the end of this race. So I wonder if he can catch up.
Close to the back.
I wonder if he can catch up to I think he could catch up to Marcio actually. It's the gap between the mediums and the hards is around about 7 tenths. Another spin. That was Damon this time. Has had a bit of a moment in turn 7. Meanwhile, Felipe heads for the move. Can he make it stick this time around this straight? Yes, he can. Easy move up to P6. And this is allowing the likes of Chill, also on the medium compounded tyres, remember, to catch up. Chill, I have to say, has had a decent race. Look at positions gained once again. Biggest gainer is Flex up 11, RJ up 3, Brent up 9, Bunty up 7, Kelvin up 5, Marcio up 1. Look at Chill. He thought about it. He thought about it. There wasn't enough space there. That's why he didn't go for it. Chill, don't forget, he's had a decent comeback. He's only lost 3 places, but still a long way to go. Cam has gained 2. Noah J has gained 6 despite that spin, but he would have gained loads there. Giant Bravery has gained 4, but contact from Jill and Flex. That is a bit of a shame there.
Jill now.
Here we go.
Pushing towards the pit wall, but it looks, it's still fair enough. Hard but fair racing here. You love to see it as Jill moves up to 7th and can maybe get back onto that Ferrari of Felipe. Very, very big, very good racing here going on.
Yeah, this is great racing, I think, for the midfield drivers so far. So Chill is now ahead of Flex. Let's get the tyres up again as he chases down Felipe. The gap is coming down ever so slightly. And penalty-wise, let me have a look at penalties. 6 seconds for Flex. So Chill would have been ahead of him anyway. But Chill now needs to close on Felipe because it is 4 position because they're both on 3-second penalties. Marcio needs to gain 3 tenths on Kelvin to be ahead of him because Marcio has no penalties, whereas Kelvin has 3 seconds. Bunty, Brent and RJ have no penalties. Same with Cam and the AI of Funky Chicken. Obviously, Funky Chicken will be doing his evaluation race for France again, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. But Marcio's dropped a bit from Kelvin, actually. So Kelvin, I think, should be fine to keep that 4th position because Marcio's just losing so much time, maybe because of that spin and maybe the tyres are not at the optimum temperature for him at the moment.
Yeah, that's very much possible, particularly a spin. On this game, the tyres wouldn't even cool down that much as well. A lot of fast-flowing corners as well around Paul Ricard, remember, so that will definitely not help the tyres, but yeah, we'll see. He's definitely got Felipe already very close to that McLaren, and he will make that move quite easily, actually, into turn 1. Yeah, he's already passed and into 5th, so let's see how much ground he can make up from here. Bunty is actually really close still to the back of the Aston Martin. So, there's still, well, that 2nd place is very much still in, well, what would you say? I forgot the word.
Still in reach. Still in reach.
Yeah, thanks. There we go.
It's still in reach for Calvin. Could be in reach for Felipe as well, but he just needs to gain a bit of time. But here comes Bunty into the straight now. Is he going to get P2 on Brent? No, not quite. I'm a bit surprised, actually, Alex, because Bunty's heart has got a lot more ERS to Brent. You could see Brent's ERS light flashing, which means he's harvesting, whereas Bunty's not. So Bunty's doing a lot better than ERS management. And I know a lot of the commentators tonight are going to say it, and I'm going to say it now. Managing ERS on this game is a lot harder compared to the last game, don't you think?
Exactly, yeah. I've had it in enough races already. It's particularly with those 50 wing settings as well.
Yes.
The more wing you have, the more it's going to eat up of your battery, and it becomes increasingly difficult. And so, probably setup-wise, the best balance would be whoever can put the lowest wings while it's still drivable enough in the fast corners. That's probably what the strategy is going to be like a lot for the setups. Is Kelvin. Look at him, he's already on the back of that Mercedes. This medium's working an absolute treat for him.
Yeah, but it is very, very decent as well for the medium runners. Let's get the tyres up again so you can see who's in what tyre. But yeah, Kelvin, he wants to get Bunty past. Oh no, Kelvin!
Whoa.
Oh, he's lost a bit of time there. That's not good, my friend, in the Williams. But that was so close for comfort. I think he lost about 3 tenths, but he's still going to be in this DRS train, luckily, because Kelvin and Bunty are still fighting. So, Kelvin, count yourself
Brent
lucky.
just made a mistake there.
Brent's made a mistake. I'll let you take this one.
Oh, and here comes Bunty then. I believe it's very close. Yeah, he has to pouch now. He has to. Yes, he does. He's already passed well before the braking zone. Let's see what Kelvin makes of this. I don't think he's quite close enough. He's had to use a lot of ERS to stay in that DRS. Oh, Brent with another slide there in the chicane. Oof, gets tapped, almost gets tapped out by Kelvin. But it seems fine for now. However, now Brent will have to use probably some ERS. He doesn't have almost any of it though. So possibly gonna drop out of that DRS for Bunty. He's currently a second down, so he's gonna have a very good final sector if he wants to stay in the DRS of the Mercedes.
Yellow flag, that is the Matt Tibos again. He's just having a bad day at the office at the moment, but they're still next week to decide the true pace. Maybe he'll be better at Mexico. We'll have to wait and see. Brent's already lost a lot of time to Bunty, and that's allowing Kelvin to really open up this battle and even try and get past him as well. Maybe Brent can gain a bit of time on the straight. We'll have to wait and see. Don't forget, this is a long straight heading towards turn number 1. Kelvin and Brent are both harvesting, but Kelvin with the fresher grip, with the fresher tyres, with the softer tyres compared to the hard. That was a good move from Kelvin. So Kelvin up to P3 in the podium positions, but he's got to gain 3 seconds on Brent in order to keep it, because he's got 3 seconds, whereas Brent has hardly any. Well, doesn't have any penalties, so... Well,
chill with another 3 seconds. Not going to help his course down in 10th. Let's see. Well, Bunty, he's not going to catch RJ, is he? But he's definitely still not safe in that second place, because now Kelvin's obviously on the back. Yeah, the slipstream game's still going on. Of course he would. Anything to break that gap as much as possible, but... Let's see how much it's going to bring for the Mercedes. Strong race from him. Not really made any mistakes as far as I can tell. So, very, very good race from him.
Yeah, I have to say, I think I haven't heard of Kelvin before, but, well, he is, I think he's in the same team as Chill, QBR, and QBR is quite a strong team. So, QBR, the managers, if you're watching... This guy has some talent, so
yeah,
you picked the right driver, I have to say, to represent you. Maybe he stays in Division 3, maybe title contender, you never know. But don't forget, obviously, we won't know the placement until after, I think, Mexico. I think a few days after that, and Mexico could be people's last chance to prove that they can deserve to be in Division 3 or maybe even Division 2, as Kelvin. He's got the straight line speed and the ERS. He's not even using ERS, and he's closing on to Bunty. Bunty's
that's
got
3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Oh.
That has saved Kelvin's race. He's just got to make sure he's clear of Brent by 3 seconds, and he'll get a podium anyway. But he really wants that P2. As Bunty I think has 3. Yeah. Kelvin has 6 seconds. So not 3 seconds, 6 seconds. Okay. So Kelvin's going to drop down to 5th? Yeah, he's going to drop down to 5th. But anyway, he's going to go for the move. Why not? There's a few more laps to go down the straight. And Kelvin, well...
Late on the brakes, gets it done.
Up to P2.
And he definitely does have some pace left in these tyres, but he's only got about 4.5 laps actually to get that 3 second gap it is. There we go. And we will see if we can make that, because obviously towards the end, maybe the mediums will start to drop off as well. So Felipe actually goes up to 4th, completely unnoticed, overtakes Brent, who's dropping down a little bit, down to P5 now. There's still a lot of action yet to happen in this race. I'm quite sure about that, because Bunty keeping to the back of the Williams fairly well. Matty was around again in the first sector. It's just a bad day for the Alpines. Yeah.
Oh, he just doesn't like this track. Oh, Marcio's off!
Oh! It's probably quite the common mistake to make around this corner. Let's see, Giant Bravery probably going to get through on the McLaren as well. Felipe with the fastest lap on those mediums. And there's still fights going on, actually. Flex and Rex, actually. Funny names. And we've got Chill joining in as well. These two going side by side into turn 1. But it's more ERS for the AlphaTauri, so it looks like he's got that move done. P6 for him. P7 for Rex, P8 for Flex.
Yes, indeed. Just a few more laps to go of this French Grand Prix. Noah J and Cam are having a bit of a ding-dong battle at the moment. Cam can jump up quite a bit due to him having no penalties. I think he could drop, he could not drop, he could go up to 7th, I believe.
Yeah, indeed.
So Cam, I have to say, is having a good race, and I've advised people, if you hardly get any penalties around here and you have good pace, you will be rewarded. Rex on the back of Chill. He has less ERS though. Chill's not even using his ERS. Rex stayed in 7th position. We'll jump back to P3.
Ooh, 3 seconds for Flex.
Oh, Flex gets another penalty. That is a shame there. I'm good job I'm not the one doing the maths here, because I don't have a clue where these guys are going to be at the end of this race. But all we do know, RJ is having a time of his life at the moment. He's dropped a little bit onto Calvin. It was 8 seconds, now it's 7.8. But
I mean, he can allow himself.
Exactly.
He's 7.7 seconds clear, so he's just leading this race pretty much from start to finish. It's great to see from him. Very good effort.
He just seems to be in control all race. We haven't talked about him or seen much of him in battle because he's been on his own. He's been doing time trial laps as well. He's just been doing great. He just likes this game as well, and yeah, we'll keep an eye on him later on at the end of this race. Meanwhile, Felipe, P4, chasing down Bunty for P3. Felipe on the mediums, about 7/10 quicker than the hards. And the hards are starting to wear out a little bit, maybe the memes as well. So potentially they're all starting to wear just a little bit more. No one has opted for the soft strategy, so everyone is either on mediums or hards at the moment, as Felipe gets past Bunty up into P3. So Felipe on the podium, spots for now. Will he stay there? Yes, he will, because he'll get P2 actually. He'll get P2 because Calvin has 6 seconds. So Felipe's on a charge, another yellow flag. That's Damon, who's done another spin. Oh, he's not having a good race, is he? He's just out of the points now, unfortunately, but we will see what happens. We'll keep an eye on this Bunty. I think the battles are going on at the moment, Alex. We've got Bunty versus Felipe, and we got a DRS train from Chill all the way down to Flex. Then we got Noah J versus Cam, and we got Marcio versus Giant Bravery, but then everyone else is just in their own little world at the moment. We'll keep an eye on this DRS train actually, because Rex is putting himself back in contention despite that spin earlier. So it's a shame. It could have been a Haas 1-2, but it's not yet. It's not worth it. Well, wasn't to be, I was trying to say, but he can obviously redeem himself in the next race. He's just using DRS. He's not using overtake. He's already gained a few attempts already down there. Turn number 1. I'm surprised he didn't use his overtake to try and get past Chill, but Chill probably would think you would get DRS if that happened, so that's probably why they weren't challenging too much. Penultimate lap of this race, still a lot that can happen. Some of these guys are probably pretty proud how their race is going so far, but quite a lot of people are hoping for the race to be over ASAP.
I think one that's, obviously, apart from the obvious few people, obviously the Alpines we've seen around, unfortunately, a lot, someone like Damon as well, but someone who's going to hope for the race to end very soon is probably going to be Flex as well, and these 18-lap-old hards, they're looking really squirmy over this whole lap, 3 laps more than, anyone else, I think. 15 laps is the next most that the hard tires have done, so he'll be happy to get those tires to the end in some sort of good shape. As the battle here is still not over, but I don't quite think he's got that much of a chance to go further ahead. Other than that, we've got the freshest mediums on the Williams of Kelvin, who is catching a little bit, considerably enough to RJ, but obviously he's not going to get 7 seconds in this final lap, which RJ is about to start for the Haas team. So, great performance from him. He's actually just set a personal best lap time as well for 34.0, so he's just been in control for the whole race. And just has one more lap to negotiate off this Paul Ricard circuit in Le Castellet.
Well, he's not got the fastest lap though. The fastest lap is set by Felipe, but out of the hard runners, he's the fastest hard runner on track. As
Giant Bravery, that is.
It was Giant Bravery that's gone off, so he had a little bit of a moment there. But final lap, last chance for people to make an impression today on those mediums or those hard compounded tyres. I don't think Bunty has a response to Felipe, unfortunately. He's going to run out. He's going to be on 0% around about now as he heads towards turn number 8. So, yeah, he's lost a bit of time there. What about the likes of Cam and Noah J? I think Cam's gained a bit of time there as well.
Oh, Calvin's just gone wide.
That was close from Calvin there, but I don't think Cam is close enough to Noah J. Nope, he's not. So that is a bit of a shame there. But RJ hasn't got long until he finishes the race.
Indeed, he's already coming around the last 3 corners right now. It's, never been in doubt, really, ever since those mistakes made by the others. Obviously, the unfortunate disconnect from Funky Chicken as well, who would have contended up there, I'm very sure. But now, RJ rounds the final corner here in the Castellet, uses some more overtake as well, because he might as well, he can allow himself. And RJ wins the French Grand Prix, the first pre-season race, evaluation race here in the Europe. Great performance from him. Never in doubt. And Felipe jumps into second, Bunty into third, and Kelvin drops all the way down to P5. Brent actually does make it onto the podium in P3, they've asked Martin. So, very good to keep that without penalties. It has earned him a podium here.
And Cam, like I said, jumped up to 7th, so he's had a good race. So, Kelvin dropped to 5th, Rex 6th, Cam 7th, Chill in 8th. Marcio could have been, I think he could have been on the podium without that spin. Noah J in 10th, Flex in 11th, Giant Bravery, if it was a normal LOE race, would have been the final point scorer, but Damon would have got the final point despite those spins. So Damon, well, he was a bit too close for comfort there. Marty, fair play to Marty, by the way, for keeping going. I have to say, that's commitment. That is commitment. Let's just hope he improves for next week, though. And we're just waiting for Matt Tibos cross the line. Everyone luckily is on the same lap, which is great to see. No one was a lap down, so yeah, it was a pretty decent race, despite the fact there was obviously safety car was turned off and no damage. I think most drivers kept it clean. There was a bit of argy-bargy going in some places, but well, let's hope they tidy up their app for next week. But overall, pretty decent.
Definitely. I very much enjoyed this pre-season race. A lot of fighting going on, as these obviously new regulations for the cars have promised, and they have delivered some brilliant racing all over the field, despite maybe the traction issues getting the better of a lot of drivers. But in the end, it's still a pre-season race, and they've still got some time to work on these mistakes. Here, they come now onto the podium. Excel RJ, never in doubt, really, as he comes onto the top step ahead of the Ferrari of Felipe and Brent in the Aston Martin.
Well, RJ thinks that Mick Schumacher's going to win the race, yes, in France next week, maybe? That would be amazing, but I don't think that would happen in real life. But if that did happen, clip that moment, because, you know. But anyway, we'll run for your order then. We've got RJ in P1, one of the few drivers to have no penalties, fair play. Felipe 2nd, Brent 3rd, Bunty 4th, Kelvin 5th, Rex 6th, Cameron 7th, Chill 8th, Marcio 9th, Noah J in 10th, and we got Flex Damon, Giant Bravery in 13th, obviously Funky Chicken and Ryan B disconnected. Marty and Matt Tibbles were your final finishers, and along with Giant Bravery and Funky Chicken, J Luke did not see the checkered flag. So I will scroll down the race director very quickly for any incidents.
I've just seen RJ hasn't got a single warning in this race, so yeah, wow. That's actually a great effort around France in particular. Wow, that's a really good job.
That was, I have to say, that was a very... I'm just looking at his lap times at the moment. He was very consistent on the hard tyres as I'm just going through some of the guys raced. I'm not sure if I'm meant to do this, but I will do it anyway. I've done it for the top 4 at least, but if I wasn't told to do it, so I won't do it. But RJ is your winner, and will he be able to keep up this form next week when we head to the second pre-season race in Mexico?
That'll be the question to find out. And Mexico, obviously, quite a different track as well. Probably more variation, I think, as well in the setups with that super long straight, 2 DRS zones back-to-back, obviously, another DRS zone in the middle sector. But then, obviously, those twisty corners as well in the final sector. The S's, you never know. There's a lot of variety, I think, on the setups there, which could see a shake-up of the order. Unlike maybe today, see some different faces up the front.
I hope we see some different races out the front. And obviously, Funky Chicken will be back next week. Hopefully no disconnections from Funky Chicken. I don't think we're going to have any interviews tonight because obviously it's evaluation races. And you just heard that invite sound, meaning I have to get into my lobby soon. But thank you all for watching the first pre-season race on F122. The evaluation races around France. Obviously, we had not Division 1. I need to Lobby 1 and Lobby 4 that happened the same time as us. You can also check those out a little bit later on. And we've also got coming up in around about, well, just under half an hour's time, we've got Lobby 2 and Lobby 5 that will be streaming their pre-season races. I'll need to remember who's commentating for each of those. Let me just have a look. So for Lobby 2, it's Car Mentalist and J. Cole, and for Lobby 5, it's RJ and Nolan. So those will be your commentators taking you through that action, and you can cheer me on in Lobby 5 and see me probably bottle it, but we'll see. But anyway, thanks Alex for joining me in the commentary box, and Alex, your game didn't crash. Yay!
Yeah, indeed. Actually, just figured that. Brilliant. You love to see it. Finally.
I think it was the first race that your game didn't crash, didn't it?
It's one of the first for sure, but
probably because you weren't streaming.
That becomes the standard. Yeah, exactly. It's probably that at the moment. So we'll see how that goes.
Anyway, whilst I will let you all go enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'm going to get some last practice in for my race. But have a good evening. Make sure you tune into Lobby 2 and Lobby 5 at 8:10 with Car Mentalist, Jaco, RJ, and Nolan. I've been Jessica Bull. Alex has been Alex, and we will see you next time. Well, you may see both of us next week. We don't know. It depends. But there will be a stream for Lobby 3 next week for the Mexican Grand Prix for the second evaluation race of the season. Have a good evening and goodbye.
Goodbye.